Time for a nice relaxing video to talk about Packers football and the 2016 NFL schedule. To do that, Gery Woelfel of the Racine Journal-Times is here.
We should have some background music like NFL, like dun dun dun.
Right. I'm Sparky, Fifer from Sports Radio 1250 and 105.7 FM, The Fan in Milwaukee. Check us out weekday afternoons from 2 to 6. Myself, Gary Ellerson, Packer Hall of Famer Leroy Butler, and Rami Makloff on weekdays, Monday through Friday. All right, let's talk about the Packers. The NFL schedule is out. Let's go over the NFL schedule. There are some things I do not quite get.
11-5.
It is pretty much done by a computer program for the most part, I think, nowadays in the NFL. So you kind of get whatever you spit out and go from there. The Packers lead off at Jacksonville and the Jaguars.
Number one victory.
The Packers then go in week 2, a night game, 7:30 kickoff, Sunday night game, which I figured it would be at U.S. Bank Stadium, the new stadium for the Minnesota Vikings. That stadium is one that will be on my personal bucket list to go to.
Why?
That stadium looks awesome.
You know what?
It's all glass. It's built underground. There's so many cool things about that stadium. The night that they announced to the fan base in Minnesota what the stadium was going to look like, they rented out a theater. Mm-hmm. People could go to the theater and watch it, and then they streamed it live. I watched the whole thing for like an hour and a half of all the different features of the stadium. It was one of the coolest presentations I've ever seen. That night I said, I'm going to see that stadium. And at night, with all that glass, the doors are like 100-foot tall glass doors that open up as you go into the stadium. And then you walk into the stadium and you're on the upper deck because they built it into the earth for heating costs and everything else. It's going to be awesome.
It's funny that you brought that up. I was in Minneapolis a couple weeks ago, and I don't know the name of the major highway that goes by the stadium. What is it? 235. It doesn't matter. From the highway, it looks like a piece of crap.
Right.
I mean, it looks awful. It's like black.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's probably because of the glass windows
Right.
and stuff. And I was talking to a friend of mine who lives there, and he said, "Yeah, they've gotten a lot of criticism because of the aesthetics, the outside aesthetics, but everything else sounds pretty darn good.
It sounds
cool.
like
a state-of-the-art arena.
It sounds really cool. So that'll be week 2 in Minnesota. I think if I'm the Vikings, I'm mad. And I don't know if they had a say in this. I don't want to open up my stadium against the Packers, who we've been battling with forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Give us Jacksonville. Don't
Yeah,
right up
exactly.
at Oakland. I don't want to open up against
agree.
Green Bay.
Yeah.
It's like when you schedule homecoming in high school.
Right.
You want to schedule some bad team so you can win. You're not trying to schedule the best.
And not only that, the Packers are going to be jacked up because it's their
Right.
first division game,
Yep.
so they're going to be ready to play.
The difference will be
You're right.
Packer fans won't be able to get into that game, I don't think.
You're absolutely right. Bad decision on the NFL's part.
Okay, good decision for the NFL. It would be a great game on Sunday Night Football. The Vikings are the team that's
but
mad about it.
you usually take care of your teams. You know what I mean?
Who do you got? Packers and Vikings week 2.
Packers. I'm on the Packer bandwagon real early this year.
It'd be interesting. Week 3, they finally come home for their first game of the year against the Detroit Lions. Win.
They're going to kill them.
Week 4, bye week.
I know. That is a killer for the Packers. That is really unfortunate because a lot of these teams are still relatively fresh.
Right.
They don't play in the preseason, 3 games, no big deal. But when you get to 6 and 7, your body's starting to feel it. And all of a sudden, they don't have any rest of the road. That's going to hurt them down the road.
The crazy part is they come home to play the Lions on the 25th. They don't go back on the road until October 30th.
Wow.
They're at home that whole time. So you're home against the Lions, then a bye week. Then you come back on, I think it's Monday night possibly, against the New York Giants at Lambeau Field and Eli Manning and Odell Beckham.
And a former Packer coach.
Yes.
Who will be hitting the Giants, plus in a much improved defense by the New York Giants. I think, we're jumping way ahead of ourselves here, but I think they're going to be one of the most improved teams in the NFL next year.
The Giants.
Yeah.
So who are you taking?
Packers.
Again, I always say it's stupid to go pick wins and losses on the schedule because you don't know who the surprise teams are going to be.
Correct.
And all that.
Exactly.
But this is just something fun everybody does.
Yeah.
Then the following week, home against the Cowboys.
The return of Tony Romo.
Don't know that.
His final game.
Don't know that.
Why?
He could be hurt by that point. Don't get too far out in front of this. I'm just saying, if you're in fantasy, if you draft Romo, you better draft another guy that's pretty good too, because there's no guarantee he'll stay healthy.
I agree, but it's still early in the season. By all rights, he should be okay.
Who you got?
Packers.
Do you have him losing any games before I go all the way through this?
So this is At Green Bay, the Packer game, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Then they come back the Thursday night after
I'm
the
not going 16-0. I know that.
Thursday night after the Cowboy game,
Yeah.
they have the Bears come to Lambeau Field. Thursday night, short week against the Bears.
Packers.
Then,
Are you disagreeing with me so far on any of these?
Yeah.
Which one?
But that's okay. We'll keep moving. Hold on.
No. Okay.
We'll keep moving.
Okay.
I'll go back and tell you where I think they lose.
Okay.
October 30th at the Falcons.
I think that's going to be their first loss.
Falcons game.
Falcons, yeah.
See, they've owned the Falcons forever.
I agree.
That game doesn't concern me. Then they come home November 6th, 3:25 kick against Luck and the Colts.
Packers.
And that's November 6th, which means they're outside.
Unless
colder weather.
Unless Tolzien starts for the Colts, then I might change. No, just kidding.
November 13th at the Titans. And whatever that is, Marcus Mariota and company.
Packers.
So
how many games we got so far?
10.
I'm
9 though, because there's.
I'm really close to saying they're going to go 9-0 because that Atlanta game they could win, like you said.
Okay. Then at the Redskins, November 20th, Sunday night again.
Packers.
Why is that a Sunday night game? Then they come back Monday night, the following week at Philly. So 3 road games in a row. At Tennessee, at Redskins, at Eagles.
But by the end, I might be saying they're going 16.
Right.
Yeah, Packers.
At the Eagles. Okay. Then they come back home that following Sunday against the Texans.
Packers again.
Brock Osweiler, quarterback.
J.J. Watt, you going to go up there?
No.
Okay.
Then the following week, 3:25 kick home against the Seahawks.
Loss number
1.
1 or
according
2,
to you.
yes.
Yeah. Then at the Bears.
Win.
Home against the Vikings in week 16.
Loss.
At the Lions to end the year on New Year's Day.
Win.
They play on Christmas Eve and New Year's Day this year.
So my rosy scenario is 13-3. I mean, that's my worst case scenario. They could go 14-2.
I think they lose at the Vikings.
Okay, that's 1.
In week 2.
Right.
I think they lose against the Giants coming off the bye week in week 5. And I know McCarthy is great after the bye week. So before you blast me on this.
I wouldn't think about it.
Right, but now I know Coughlin's not there, but previously the Giants have owned the Packers with Coughlin.
Correct, especially in the playoffs.
They've had their number.
Yeah, okay.
So that's 2. Yeah. Vikings, Giants. I think they lose those 2 games.
Okay.
I then think they don't lose another game until the Seahawks on week 14.
That's 3.
That's 3, and that's it.
We agree.
So 13-3. They beat the Vikings at home to win the division.
Obviously, the X factor is Rodgers. He gets hurt in the middle of the season. That's all off the table. Exactly.
It's over.
13-3. Okay. I don't know if you heard this. Guess who has the easiest strength of schedule?
Packers.
In the NFL this season.
But
Packers.
the schedule sucks. I mean, the one thing that works against you in the schedule is, first of all, you start off at home in September, in October with all these home games, right? Well, at the end of September and then October, you get the home games. And then you're on the road for the month of November.
Right.
The problem is, if you're the Packers, you want to play later in the year at home where the elements will...
No, I take a different perspective on that. I think it's good they play at home and build some confidence, build some chemistry, be in sync. And then you fine-tune everything, and you're ready to roll. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, if they do this right, if Ted Thompson, God, no, I don't want to bring up this topic about getting a free agent yet. But if
they got Jared Cook. They got one.
They got one.
It's one more than you normally get.
That's one more than anybody expected.
Right.
Okay. But if he can hit 1 or 2 picks in the draft, I mean, last year he had a great draft. If he can just hit on his first-round pick and maybe a second-round pick and add some added depth, I'm telling you, they're going to be right there again.
Yeah, those 2 backup offensive linemen in the first couple rounds will be nice. He is Gery Woelfel of the Racine Journal-Times. I was being sarcastic. I'm Steve Sparky.
You
Fifer.
being sarcastic?
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Of the Wendy's Big Show. That was Packer Talk. Before we go, one other thing.
You're going to wish me an early happy birthday?
When's your birthday?
Not for about 7 months, but...
Okay, good. Did you like the Rams-Titans trade?
I loved it for the Titans. They made an absolute killing. I mean, people are still debating who the best player in the draft, not only overall, but they're trying to debate who's the best quarterback. It's not like you have a clear-cut number 1 pick, somebody that stands above the rest.
I will say this. I am fine with the Rams trade. And Gary Ellerson, my coach in the Big Show, hates it. He didn't like the Julio Jones trade. He doesn't like this trade. He didn't like trading a bunch of draft picks for one player. He's just not. He's not in favor of it. Okay.
Unless the guy is clearly above everybody else.
But you went from 15 to 1. You had to give up a lot to go from 15 to 1.
I agree.
That's the first thing. The second thing is this. I've always been of this belief. if you're a general manager and you think there's a player on the board that can change your franchise and can put you over the top to either be a playoff team for the first time in years or give you a chance to win a Super Bowl, if you think that player is there, then you go get that player.
I agree with you.
And I realized the Ricky Williams thing didn't work out for Mike Ditka, but he was convinced that was a difference maker, and he dealt his draft to go get him, okay? And the Falcons thought the same with Julio Jones. And you could go, well, they didn't win a Super Bowl with Julio Jones.
I was fine with that trade.
True,
He's
but Julio Jones is their best player right now.
Absolutely.
That's the guy they build around going forward.
I agree with that.
Now, if this quarterback doesn't work out for the Rams and they fall on their face, fine. But at least they're convinced there's a guy there because that's what they need. They've got Todd Gurley to take pressure off the quarterback. They've got a solid defense with the Rams.
Very good defense.
I still think they need a dominant receiver. But you have the other elements there. You get a quarterback, he's not going to have to be Andrew Luck with no running game. Right. He's going to come and have a running game. He's got to almost be like Big Ben was when he got to Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Just manage the game until you figure it out.
Okay, so who do you take?
Wentz.
Okay. And I have a friend who's...
Not that I've seen North Dakota State play at all, because I haven't. I've just seen videos. That's all I've seen. I haven't watched any North Dakota State games.
I have no problems with them going up and trying to get a quarterback. I would have tried to wait until the draft unfolded and seen if one of those quarterbacks fell. And who's the kid from Memphis?
Paxton.
I have a friend who's an NFL scout, long time. He thinks Paxton's going to be the best of the whole group. Eventually.
In like 3, 4, 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. He thinks he's unbelievable. He's got an unbelievable future. So if I'm the Rams, I'm patient with this. I don't need to go to the top to say, hey, what happens?
But remember, you're going to L.A.
Absolutely, you hit it right on the head.
And you're on Hard Knocks.
You gotta sell tickets.
You're on Hard Knocks.
Exactly.
And you're going to L.A. There's a lot going on here.
You hit it right on the head.
The other thing too, in all of this is there's already rumors that Cleveland's getting ready to deal the number 2 pick now. That the Eagles are trying to move up to get the other quarterback.
Sure.
So both quarterbacks are going to be gone 1-2 at the beginning. This is going to be like the Manning Leaf draft.
Yeah, but you know what?
Or even you can go back to Alex Smith, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, remember there was a debate: who was the going one, Rodgers or Alex Smith that year?
Sure.
Nobody knew where they were going to go.
What happened?
And then Rodgers fell.
Exactly. And that's my.
But this won't happen here because there's too many quarterback-starved teams at the top.
But you wouldn't possibly have to go all the way to the top. If there was a clear-cut guy, yeah. If it was one of those guys, no problem. But
I'll tell you the team that's not happy about all this, Denver, because there's quarterback teams, starved teams after 1 and 2 still. Denver's at the bottom of the first goal, and we just want one of these 4. And Cook from Michigan State is probably the 4th guy.
And he'll probably be there.
Connor Cook. And he's the most pro. He might be the most pro-ready, actually, that can come in and play right away for Denver.
True.
Because they need a quarterback.
Yes,
He's
they do.
Gery Woelfel. I'm Steve Sparky Fifer. We'll talk to you next time here at RacineSportsZone.com.